Here I'm going to show you how to rebirth and steal a brain rot and keep your existing brain rots. So you can do this with a little trick by using a private server, which costs a little bit of Robux, about 79 Robux I think it is, so not a lot of money, but it enables you to move your stuff to a second account whilst you upgrade or rebirth your base to make it bigger and better without losing what you've already got. Are you ready? Let's go. Okay, so when you're logging in on a web browser, you can go and log into Roblox. You go to roblox.com, log in with your usual accounts, and the first thing you're going to need to do this trick to basically keep your brain rots and be able to rebirth safely without losing your brain rots and then transfer them back is a second account, but also a private server. Now, you're going to need some Robux for this because Steal a Brainrot does charge for a private server. But if you spend ages getting some really cool brainrots and you forgot to rebirth, you're like, oh man, how can I handle this? This is going to solve that problem for you. So if you go to Steal a Brainrot here, and then you've got this button here, servers. And what you can do is create a private server. You can see there that it says the price is 79 Robux. So you're going to need a few Robux for it. So go buy a Robux card and make sure you add that to your account here. And then when you click that, that's how much it will cost. And if we have a little look at this, if we click the create a private server, it says it's 79 Robux per month. So bear that in mind. So if you're only going to do this once, then of course you just do it, sort it out, and then away you go. So I've got one already, so I'm not going to do that again, but you just give the server a name here. So you can see I gave my one the name Grub Magnet Server. And then what I've got is two accounts here. So I created a second account that's under my control. I strongly suggest you do not use a friend to use this, because if you've got a really rare brain rot, they might not give it back, even if they say, yeah, of course I will. So unless you implicitly trust them, which I really suggest you don't, create a second account. What you can then do with your server is if you click the ... here, you can click configure and then invite server members to this. So you can see here I added a person. I went and got my second account. And before you can do that, you probably need to hit a connection for it. So if you search for that person in the search bar, you should have an option there to then connect to them. So you'll need to do that. And then the other person needs to agree before you'll have that connection. Then you can have them on here as the server members. Then jump into your server. So if we go back to that page, what I then did was I went to Steal a Brainrot, and you can see there's my server, and then I can join the server here. I'm already in it, but click that button. Once you're in there, your other connection, when you log in on a separate machine, so it's going to have to be a mobile device or a different computer, something like that, you should see that your first account is playing on there, and then you can join it. So here's where the fun occurs. So you can see we've got two accounts in here. We've got Grub Magnet and Grub Magnet 2 here working together on that private server. So we'll go back to Roblox now and I'll explain how this then works in Steal a Brainrot. Okay, so this was my original base here, and I'm showing you this partly just before a rebirth so you can understand what's going on. And basically, if we go here and we click the rebirth on the left-hand side, what you get is a warning saying, look, you're going to lose all cash and brain rot characters you own when you rebirth. You will unlock all of these things. Now, I've done one rebirth already, so you can see up the top right-hand side there it says rebirth 1. And the point here is if I do that, if I have stuff in my base, I would lose it. And if we go and have a little look, what we did here in this other base is all my rather cool brain rots are sitting in here nice and safe. And because we're in the private server, we are all good here. We're not going to lose anything here. So we've got this base unlocked, and this dude here is Grub Magnet 2, which is sitting on my PlayStation account, and I'm running around on my PlayStation here. I'm getting quite confused because I'm moving on it, looking at the screen on the Mac that I've got this connected to as my main account here. But basically what I did was I moved over to the base of the main account, and then I picked up the brain rots. So when you go up here, so I'll steal one back here. So we'll steal, but you do this with your second account, and then you go off to your backup base like this and chuck it in there like that. So that's how you'd move, and you can see that one's now moved there. Now, give me 1 sec. So you can see Grub Magnet 2's in there, stealing again, like that. And then off they'll go and pop it in their base. And you can see that's now gone. So then what you need to do is think very carefully about the rebirth requirements. So you can see the rebirth here. It says you need a boneca ambalabu and a patapim to get the rebirth. So what I did then was I removed everything there. I made sure I had plenty of money down the bottom left from my super duper ones there. And then I looked on here on the conveyor belt until those two came out and purchased them. Then I put them in the base here. So we're all good to rebirth now. So we can do the second rebirth. So if we click on that again, you can see it says, look, you need 3 million, which we've got. We've got $3 million. We've got 741. So we can rebirth here. And this unlocks all these other things here. So we go rebirth. And you can see up the top right now we're on rebirth 2. And obviously this is going to get more complicated as time goes on. But now you can see we've got no money, but the Grub Magnet 2 one here is all open. So we can just grab one of these, whatever one, or all of them if we want, if we need to generate money fast. But let's just take this dude here. So we'll steal this back.
Mami Ambalabu.
Pop that one in the base and you can see we're immediately earning money here. We can just go and collect that. I've got 38 million, so I can look at the rebirth again. And you can see I need these two here. So we've got the 12.5 million. We need the Trullamero Trullacina and the Champinzini Bananini. So I now just go and look for those. So if you want, you can, while you're on the conveyor belt, you can click that rebirth again and just keep having a little look on it. So what you may find is that you stay on the conveyor belt for ages and not get the one that you're after. So some of them may only come out in special events, or you need a bit of luck with it, or whatever. So you may need to go into those events and guard your base as best you can. Keep an eye out for that one. Perhaps put some of your really good ones in your second account and leave that one offline until you're ready to do your next rebirth. But hopefully you get the idea now. So then you could also use your second account to keep anything that you might need for rebirth, or split your brain rots as just so you've got a bit of safety there. Just make sure that second account is nice and safe with a good secure password and linked to some sort of email address you can regularly use so you don't lose it if you're going to be splitting your brain rots between accounts. I don't see anything wrong with having multiple accounts as well, as long as you've got enough emails that you can use that. So you could use someone else in your family's email address to have a third or fourth account and split between them. So there you go. That's how to rebirth in Steal a Brainrot and keep your stuff safe. I hope that helped you out. You can see now I've got a second floor as well, which is pretty cool. So we got that for doing the rebirth. So I can add more stuff up here over time as well. I've only got one space in here, but as I keep rebirthing, I'll have more space as we go. If that helped you out, give us a thumbs up, please. Much appreciated. Any comments welcome. Thanks so much for watching.